What's going on, guys? Let's talk about Andrew Tate versus Chase the Moore. A lot of people seem to have a lot of opinions about that fight, and a lot of people say, well, this has ruined his legacy, Tate's legacy. He's not the top G anymore, blah, 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 whatever. Who cares, right? A lot of people will have their opinions, they will say this and that, but at the end of the day, who gives a shit? Like, these people are people who've never been in the ring before. They don't know what it takes to be in the ring and fight someone else and get their face punched in. It's scary as fuck. Adrenaline is going to be high. You're going to tire out way quicker than you would in sparring or normal training. It's just very, very difficult. You got to keep in mind that Andrew did not have to go into the ring. He did not have to. He's already making very good money. He's already very successful. He's almost 40 years old. It's not a place for him to be, if I'm gonna be honest. He's been off fighting for way too long. He's old. He has the money. It's not really that good of a fit for him. That's why he didn't get the desired result. Like, I don't even know why he was the favorite to win this fight, if I'm gonna be honest. He was fighting a bigger guy that was younger, that was more consistent, and had been taking a lot of fights over the last few years, and has been a champion for a while as well. Like, I didn't see Andrew winning, but the win in and of itself was him stepping in the ring and having the balls to face someone like Chase, because he's significantly smaller than him, and he still stepped in and he faced him. And you gotta give credit where credit is due. Like, you gotta admire that. And a lot of people want to shit on him and clown him, and not just him. Any fighter that steps in the ring, when they lose, they're like, "Oh, look at him! What a loser! He lost this fight. Oh, so bad. Blah blah blah. He's not gonna have the same reputation. He's ruined his legacy." Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Shut up. A man that gets in the ring in front of thousands, if not millions of people worldwide, is a fucking legend. That's a brave man. That's a strong man. That man does something that most men will never do. Because the risk is so high. You risk looking less of a man in front of everyone. It's so scary. Just the thought of that. Just the thought of losing in front of your loved ones. That's a huge risk. That's such a big risk. But not only that, they're risking their lives. Their fucking lives are at stake. They're more of a man than you will ever be if you're the kind of person that would tear them down for losing. Like, this doesn't affect his legacy. Like, he's done great. He's a fucking legend. You gotta admire that. You gotta admire what he has been able to achieve coming from nothing. A single mother household, being borderline poor, and just climbing himself up all the way from nothing. You gotta give credit where credit is due. But a lot of people will trash him, make fun of him, you know. Not only Andrew Tate, but also Jake Paul. I admire Jake Paul. Like, I think Jake Paul is. I think obviously he's rigging his fights. I think he does, and a lot of people think the same. I don't think his fights are legitimate for the most part, and especially after the Mike Tyson fight, I think he took that criticism seriously, and he wanted to actually face someone serious like AJ, like Anthony Joshua, and prove to himself and prove to the world that my fights are not rigged. But at the same time, I do believe they were rigged. I could be wrong. The past fights, not this one, of course. This wasn't rigged. Otherwise, he would have won. Um, but maybe it was rigged in a way. Maybe Anthony could have taken him down in the first, second round and decided not to. Because he was significantly smaller and they went 6 rounds. So this one could have arguably been rigged. The other ones, I definitely believe they were, except for the Tommy Fury fight. Um, or maybe I'm just completely wrong. I'm just speculating. Maybe none of them were rigged, and he just did what he did, and he was able to knock people out and win fights. But that's besides the point. What I'm trying to say is, I admire Jake for getting in the ring with someone significantly bigger and stronger and more experienced than him, a far better boxer. I admire Jake for that. Like, he could have taken the easy route and taken an easier opponent, but he decided to face someone like Anthony Joshua. And yeah, obviously it didn't go his way, but in my eyes, anyone who steps in the ring and faces someone, especially when the odds are against them, is a winner in my eyes. And I will always admire and respect that man. And again, I don't understand why Andrew was the favorite to win this fight. Maybe because he's the more popular and more famous one. But he should have never been the favorite to win. He had been out of the ring for 5, 10 years. I don't know how long. He's almost 40. He's smoking cigars all the time. Like, I don't know how he was the favorite to win, but he was, for some reason. But yeah, for anyone trashing these people, trashing any fighters that gets in the ring and loses, they're probably a loser themselves. It takes a lot of balls and it takes a lot of risk to step in the ring. It's fucking dangerous, both physically and reputation wise, status wise. You risk looking less of a man and you risk your life. And that has to be admired. So, anyone who does it, all the respect to them. Anyone who hates is a fucking loser and should take a good look in the mirror because they know they would never be able to take a risk like that themselves. They would never go into the ring and do something as dangerous as that. So they're going to trash down and try to tear down people who do have the balls to do something like this, which is very pathetic. But that's just how people work these days, and it's absolutely pathetic. And yeah, I have the respect for them. I know that it's something you gotta have, but most people don't. But anyways, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about a little bit, and yeah, just run my thoughts on that. And as always, I'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.